doing this serious work is it's interesting.
Yeah.
Let me just say that. Anyway, back to serious business.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Pitch Deck, where we talk about the stories that never make it to the pitch deck. In today's episode, we have a wonderful co-host. I don't know if to call her co-host. She's also a friend. Her name is Wendy Suma. I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. But one of the topics we're going to be talking about in our channel today is called funding. And the theme around funding is how do you approach funding and you don't get lost. Basically, how to approach funding and not get lost or not get carried away when approaching funding, so you can get funding right? And most of the questions will be directed to my friend here. Her name is Wendy Suma. I'll let her introduce herself to tell us her experience and what she likes doing, her passion, and her space, really. So over to you, Wendy.
Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry. This is actually quite funny because we are very good friends and doing this serious work is it's interesting.
Yeah.
Let me just say that. Anyway, back to serious business. I'm Wendy Suman. If you're curious, I'm from Ghana, and fun fact, I've actually been in Kigali for about 8 years now.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's some time.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, so we said the theme is going to be around funding, and I think since the channel is behind a project for startups, right, and different programs, people that are into different ventures or enterprises, and sometimes we try to go for funding to help the business grow faster, to hire human resource, or even to fund the different ventures we are working on. So in your space, I know you're interested in edtech, right? You are into so many edtech programs, and you kind of give them direction. You're a project manager in that space. So how do you approach funding in that space, right? What are those things you need to do when approaching funding in your space, for instance?
Yeah. Thanks for that. Sorry, I didn't talk more about my work, so thanks
Ah,
for you bringing that up.
I mean, I know
Yeah.
you, so
Yes. So as he rightfully said, I'm into product management and especially in the education sector. So I've had a lot of different experiences, even in fintech, um, entrepreneurship, healthcare, a lot of other sectors, and it's been quite a journey. But I like to find myself driving projects, so projects in any of these
yeah,
sectors.
that's
So
wonderful.
yeah, but I choose education when I can.
Ah, I
So
see. Yeah, what she's just trying to say is she's vast, right? Not just in the education sector. Yeah,
yeah, I can do anything. I'm
yeah,
kidding,
yeah, it's okay.
but not.
Yeah, so like back to the question, whereby how do you approach it? Like, how do you approach funding for the ventures like your space?
Yeah. Um, I think when it comes to a lot of these funding and grants, whatnot, m- the common approach is to look for the opportunities, look for it through links on LinkedIn, trying to, sorry,
Sorry, it's okay.
um, yeah, trying to find opportunities online and on different platforms, which is very interesting for me at least because if you look at it, anyone who is calling in for application is going to get a large pool of people,
Yeah,
right?
true.
And though we have ways to select who stands out, whatnot, how to pitch yourself so you stand out better. The truth is, there are a lot of other people who are just like you, equally competent and whatnot. So the chances are quite slim, right? So you could go through the ATS system and all of that, but at the end of the day, it's someone's decision to pick you, right? And there's no any other special um, approach to it. You could try to reach out to people on LinkedIn and all of that. That could take you a step further. But another person who's also applying could also do the same.
Same thing. Yeah,
So
true.
what basically what sets you apart from your fellow applicants? So for me, what I tend to do when it comes to funding is to go the human connection route,
Yeah,
right? I like to connect with people, have A jovial, playful interaction
Mm.
before diving straight to my ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it goes back to lots of research. So that means in my space, what does that look like? I'm in education. Okay, what projects am I working on? Okay, it's an NGO. The NGO is in Rwanda. So I'm going to narrow down the specifics of what I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
and try to look for foundations or other institutions that support what I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
and then try to reach out to them.
Yeah.
So reaching out means I'm going to send them emails. But that is even though that is a good step, but that is also now very common.
Mm-hmm.
So people will also do that, but how do you also again make yourself stand out?
Mm-hmm.
So I believe in selling your value.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to reach out to an institution, let's use, since we're all in CME, let's use CME for example,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to sell them a product. I'm going to talk about their current approach and identify the gap in it and see how my product or whatever I'm working on can help them with
Mm.
what they are doing.
Mm.
But of course, I'm not going to tell them the full solution because then
Yeah.
why will you need me? So it's more of teasing them a bit.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it could look like if you bring me on board.
Yeah.
So you tease them for them to get curious about you, and
Yeah.
then you get a call.
Yeah, that's interesting. And it seems like the whole funding space or trying to get funding for your venture, your startup, or whatever business you have is becoming more challenging because, as you said, a lot of people are also doing what you're trying to do. So the conventional passive way of approaching funding, whereby you go to those social media platforms, tell them what you know, um, doesn't just work, right? You have to be active about it. Rather than doing, I mean, it's okay to use social media, but if you have other avenues to reach out to those people, you should also do that. So let's just talk about the networking part and how to actively look out for these funding partners or these organizations that can fund you. So, in your experience around funding, what has worked? Is it trying to first create this personal relationship with the funding organizations, or you just going with your vision of your business at first? What has worked for you in your experience?
Right. So even what I said prior with the whole cold emailing, telling
Mm-hmm.
them your value, whatnot. To be honest, I haven't done that myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen my colleagues do that.
Yeah.
And it works.
Mm-hmm.
So what I have experienced is a lot of personal relationship with people,
Oh.
and it's not even as if I knew them from somewhere. No,
Mm-hmm.
it's very interesting, but I'm I tend to be very introverted sometimes,
Ah.
but I know, but I will be very extroverted if I need to, right? So what I do, especially being here in Kigali can, as an international, if you don't push yourself, you'll be in your own space for a very long time.
Yeah. True.
So you need to push yourself and go out, and the kind of outing I prefer might not be common here. I like a very chill picnic, a very, just a chill vibe.
Mhm. So talking about networking, right? I think before networking, I know you're going to say, as I said there, the funding space here, not just in Africa, everywhere is challenging. And one of the conventional things people do is to go to some social media platform, check for these some leaders or CEO or whatever position in these organizations, and try to cold mail or cold like send a message to them just to introduce themselves. And sometimes people just go with all their vision. Hey, my name is Zanu Julius. I'm here. I do this, and that. So personally, I think there's a way we can rethink networking. You trying to have a personal relationship first, trying to have how I put this, sell your values and yourself to the person. Let them see what you work on and how it aligns with the organization. Then you can bring your product. So I just want to ask you, what are your thoughts around networking? Is it okay to have like build a personal relationship first, or just go on and tell them, hey, this is me, this is what I have for you. I don't know if the other part works. I think it works for some people. Maybe or probably, I don't know. But what would you suggest, and what have you done in your experience?
Um, that's quite interesting because for me, um, I think networking event works for some people. With everything, yeah, whether the chances are slim or not,
Mm-hmm.
it still works for others. You
Mm-hmm.
just might not be the lucky one. So yeah, it works, but I think when when we say it's a networking event, all these funders and all these
Mm-hmm.
employers, sorry, and all the leaders are going in for that sole purpose.
Yeah, very true. Very, very
Exactly.
true. Mm-hmm.
So their guards are up. They are looking, they are looking too much into the little details.
Ah, I
Actually,
see.
you
Yeah.
know, it's
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, this person spoke to me. Did I like their shirt, or did I like it? It's silly, but then now they are consciously looking and searching,
Mm-hmm.
right? As compared to meeting the person very casually somewhere. And I'll explain, because being in Kigali, I've learned a few tricks here and there. As an international,
Mm-hmm.
if you're not careful, you just be in your bubble a lot here.
Yeah.
So in these few years, well, not so few, because it is quite a lot. In these years that I've been here,
Mm-hmm.
um, I like to go to the cafe sometimes. So just try and go get tea or coffee somewhere. Find a cute, nice place. You don't need to spend. You
Mm-hmm.
just need to just expose yourself to those spaces.
Yeah.
Most internationals like yourself will also feel that way. So
Mm-hmm.
when you go to such spaces, you're going to meet people like yourself who are
Yeah.
also doing better things and working on projects, whatnot. And my little trick here is, I mean, you guys know how much I enjoy playing games.
Yeah.
So I always carry is either Uno or Spot It, or any puzzle, and take one with me. So even as I'm sitting and working, I could just see someone. Maybe the person is waiting for their order,
Mm-hmm.
sitting idle. Start a conversation. It can boil down to personality, but sometimes, to be honest, I will say I'm introverted.
Ah, yeah, I know that. I know that.
but but if I need to be extroverted, I will, to get what I want, like
Yeah.
for those opportunities. So speak up, just talk to the person. Hey, I have this. Want to try, as you wait for your order,
Mm-hmm.
and as you are playing, those kind of conversations start casually.
Yeah.
Of course, you're not going to start off, hey, well, I want a job, like
Yeah.
no. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to get there. It's like, oh, what are you interested? Oh, why in Kigali? Oh, I do this. Oh, I do this. And then it starts. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what? Funny enough, my team is looking for. Or funny enough, that's good. I think it's something we
Yeah.
need. It becomes very natural, and you eventually start building the trust factor. You you build a certain level of friendship,
Mm-hmm.
and the person could literally call you in and say, hey, visit my office, or
Yeah.
visit
True.
this.
True. True.
Yeah. So for me, it's very, I like to keep it very natural.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you might not even have a game, but with laptops or devices, people tend to put stickers on there.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone has a sticker of GitHub, or like uh, open AI, anything, like
Yeah.
just start a conversation and say, oh, that's a cool sticker. Do you do this? And just start a
Oh.
conversation. I'm teaching you the hacks.
I think it's interesting because what you're saying now is, as you said, if you don't step out, you be in your bubble for long, and you be in a bubble for long, or in your bubble, I don't know, whichever one. So you just be on your own for a while, and you won't get to really know how to communicate with people, right? And one thing you said is the importance of conversation, right? I think it's very important for us, not just as people looking for funds to fund something or anything, or fund an initiative, right? When you're in places like cafe or anywhere, really try to talk to people, right? From that conversation, things can come up, opportunities can come up. They don't just come up at once, but they build up to something, right? And they get to know who you are. And now you're just making me think of, maybe I need to put a sticker on my PC.
Please do.
Yeah, so when people see me, or when I see people outside, we could start a conversation with that. That's pretty interesting. So let's talk about, how about we talk about the challenges, right? Funding most times have a range, right? This organization is saying we fund 50K to 100K, right? And you, as a founder or somebody trying to work on an initiative, a startup or whatever, you have an ideal amount you're looking for, and these organizations have an ideal amount they give, right? So what are those processes you need to take to know the amount that is just right for founding. So you don't go above, you don't go too little, but you just get it just right. And you also try not to be, is it greed, right? Or you try not to be greedy. Yeah, so what are those things? Like, let's have a conversation around that. The challenge is to just make sure that you get it just right, at least like maybe to some extent, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So we are humans. Sometimes we tend to get greedy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you should, but it can happen anyway. But for me, I would say research. It still
Hmm.
goes back to research. Do the work. Look, what do you need? How much do you need? Give a range, right?
Hmm.
Uh, but also don't keep yourself small
Very
because
important.
you're still going to look at the long term um, aspects of things, right? And this is honestly one of the biggest challenges because as you're reaching out to these VCs, these funders,
Yeah.
we are reaching out to them. They also have their own system of operation. So the challenge with funding and looking for these opportunities is how to fit
Yeah,
you,
very
you
important.
know,
Yeah.
how do you fit your value or your operation in theirs,
Yeah.
right? So that's why it goes back to research. Do the research. Look at some organizations or the project
Hmm.
that organization is working on. So there are some funders who give money based on the vision of the project to
True.
say, hey, we
Hmm.
are going to support you. This is the amount. Do it, and then later you account for it. There are others that will say, um, you need to give us the exact what exactly are you going to do with the money on Monday when you open. What do you do? I'm exaggerating, but yeah, there are some that want every detail of how they are going to spend it prior to it, and they keep you accountable to it. Like you have to spend it the way you
Yeah.
sent it to them, like you
Hmm.
wrote in your proposal. And if based on the nature of your project can allow that,
Hmm.
sure, go ahead. But if you know the nature of your project is it's fluid, like it's not too rigid for you to say, if I say this, I'm going to follow through with it. Not
Yeah.
that you are going to mishandle the money,
Hmm.
but in the moment, based on your judgment on how things should go, you would want to spend the money differently
Yeah.
for a bigger outcome.
Hmm.
So some of these providers might not operate that way. So you need to learn when to let go.
Very important.
You
Very
need to
important.
learn what you're fighting for and when it's like, okay, this is great money. I've tried. I'm trying to sell my value, but when do I say, you know, and might not be right for me because if you take it and later you have to account for it
Yeah.
and it doesn't go that route,
Hmm.
there could be other legal complications and all those
Exactly.
kind of things. So
Hmm.
it's really research.
Yeah.
You know, just do the research. I hope I did it. I answered the question right. I think I forgot the other parts of it, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, you did. It's just knowing. I think it's about research to know how to. You have your funding needs. You need to look for an organization that you can fit in your funding needs, like what they are giving, right? You can
Yeah.
fit in your funding needs into what they are giving, which I think is really important. And something you said that is quite funny, but it's not so funny. Is not every money is great money. Do you get? Some money might sound so interesting, 100K, 200K, but the due diligence you need to give to those organizations can be a pain to
Yeah.
you. So it's important to know when to walk away. And I don't know how this is. Can you walk away when the funding has been given, or you walk away prior before it is given? I don't know. Maybe maybe there are legal stuffs to that.
Yeah, that I can't answer. I've
Yeah,
not found myself in any of those
yeah. Please don't find
situations.
yourself in this situation. But yeah. So thank you so much for okay,
Before we end,
okay,
might I add, this is one advice I got from someone
okay.
I was speaking to, and the person told me, was like, when, so we were trying to raise fund for a project,
Mm-hmm.
also in the education space,
Mm-hmm.
and the person was like, Wendy, I hear what you're saying. So this, it's funny because anyway, this is just me yapping, but
It's okay.
with the space, sometimes you apply to things and you go there and program manager or whoever is your colleague from
Mm-hmm.
school, and it's always quite interesting. So this person listened to me. We were colleagues in school. Listened to me, and later was like, to be honest, uh, just from a friend to a friend,
Mm-hmm.
the opportunity is great, but the kind of things you would need to do could be
I
too
see, I see,
draining.
I see.
So instead, look at other people who are doing
Mm-hmm.
exactly what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So look at people in different countries, if it's the same African context, like
Mm-hmm.
because what I'm doing is in Rwanda.
Mm-hmm.
Look at people who are doing that,
Mm-hmm.
and then go on their website and look at
Ah,
people
I see.
who are providing funds for them. Because if they are providing funds for those people and you guys are similar, that means there's a higher chance to also support you.
Yeah.
So look for institutions that are operating the way you want to,
Mm-hmm.
and also go to their site, look for the people supporting them and apply to them.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
important. Yeah, I think people should also try to do that. For instance, if you're international in a country, so you can look for similar companies doing the same thing you're doing, try to understand their journey, or if the project you are working on is similar to one they've done and they were funded, you can reach out, right? So you can get some advice and guidance on how you can get funded too. I think these are really key important. Some of the points you raised are very important. One is actively look for these opportunities. Don't just rely on the conventional method of reaching
Yes.
out on social media. One is sell your value and reach out with what you can give, but be careful. Don't give out everything because if you give out everything while they reach out to you, they can just use someone in-house to do it. So we also talked about the importance of networking, right? Creating that personal relationship first, and the importance of having conversations, right? The importance of not being an introvert every time, right? Yeah,
Push yourself.
yeah, push yourself, right? So you don't remain there and you think things will work out. You need to talk to people. The importance of also having a sticker on your laptop and something. I think that's also important to talk about. And doing your research to understand your niche, to understand the different organizations. I think all these things are really important for anybody out there or any of our viewers trying to search for funding. So this is me saying thank you so much, Wendy. Wendy's a very good friend. She's a very good friend. We've been together for years. I can't, but we went to CMU, so since then it's been good. So thank you so much for honoring the invite to our channel to handle this topic. We appreciate you. Our viewers too appreciate you. So
Thank
um,
you.
thank you for watching. So thank you so much, guys, for standing by and watching our episode for today about funding. We hope to see you soon.